What's going on, everybody? Tuesday, I had to look at the calendar really fast because I forgot the day of the week. Hopefully everyone's well this fine evening. Here, you know, in lovely Sacramento, California, it's like 75 outside today. It's really cool. And a little windy. There we go. I always wait for this chat to like finally catch up. Hopefully, you know, I hope you guys are good. Let me know who's here. I'm always kind of curious where people are from. So let me know in the chat where you're at. Yeah, where you're at. Not necessarily where you're from, because I don't want you to be like, I'm from Germany, but right now I'm, you know, living in France for the last 40 years. I don't know. No idea. We do have a couple things planned. Callie Reef, you just left Sac Paintball Store. I was at Sac Paintball Store a couple days ago. There's a banner for that right there. You guys can't probably see it on the stream though. Okay, we got Florida, Chicago, Uncle Deadly's at home. Me too. Brian is in Sacramento. Louisiana, Santa Cruz. Josh, I was looking at Santa Cruz. I want to move to Santa Cruz. I don't know. We got Santa Cruz, we got Arizona, we got Jacksonville, Charlotte, North Carolina. I also really like Charlotte. Tracy, California. I don't know about Tracy. Florida, the Great White North of Canada, Texas, Fort Worth. Someone's in a flyover state where it's 97 degrees. Kansas, I'm going to go with probably Kansas, New Hampshire, Cape Breton. I'm not sure where Cape Breton. I don't know where that's at. We got Boston, lots of Texas, Vacaville, Chicago, Watsonville, also Watsonville. I also like Watsonville. Watsonville, also close to Santa Cruz. If anyone was curious. Virginia Beach. Geez, everyone's just commenting where they're from. I like that. Nicholas Ferens with $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. I was hoping my lights were gonna work, but we always have problems with these goddamn lights. That's new. I forgot about that. I forgot I did that. We'll have to edit that a little bit. I appreciate that, Nick. So awesome. Did you watch Bunker Fest live stream? Nope. Unfortunately, or fortunately, did not. I don't know. I don't really go on Facebook or watch lots of paintball stuff on the internet. The only real like paintball stuff that I like consume online is really, I mean, Go Sports stuff. I don't really like, you know, go on Facebook or that stuff that often. I try to like keep my distance from it. So a lot of these things, like, you know, that Bunker Fest live stream or, you know, little things that happen in paintball, I don't really know about anymore. Because the only place to find that stuff out is directly on Facebook, and I just don't use Facebook so much, so I don't know about a lot of these things, unfortunately. Let's talk about something. So earlier this week, let's switch over and we can like look at some like, I like that. I think that's cool. I appreciate that. Zero DMG. Hey, look at it. Hey, Brad, can you bring back the skull headbands? The Paintball Ruin My Life store. The skull headbands. Those are probably really old. I mean, not like really old, but that was probably like the first batch that I ever did. Oh man, it's so hard to say do that because it's difficult. I mean, maybe the next batch I'll look at, you know, something that's like similar, but it probably won't be for a while because I just made more stuff. So I got a lot of headbands right now. So until we kind of go through, you know, what's left, I probably won't make any soon. But I appreciate it. Okay, so I wanted to talk about, like, you guys kind of might be like, you know, can tell a little bit from the title of this video. We're going to talk about some stuff. So let me figure out what the hell we're doing. We're going to go the computer screen like that. Yeah, so this week, well, we kind of got news, or I should say, was it this week? Or I should say over the weekend, maybe? I don't know exactly which day it was. we kind of got news that Tyler Harmon, we're going to say formerly of San Diego Dynasty, went to join Houston Heat. Yeah, which is honestly, I hope it's not going to make us log into Facebook, I hope. God. See, this is the problem with, like, we're going to outsmart this thing real fast. Oh gosh. You guys are getting a sneak peek on, like, how to maybe use the internet better. Hopefully that works. Yeah. So yeah, Tyler Harmon left San Diego Dynasty. I see super chats, guys. I so much appreciate them. Let me, like, we're gonna wig through this. I don't know. We're gonna go through this real quick. We're gonna talk about Tyler for a second, and then I'll come back to super chats, guys. I super appreciate it. The BJJ video, I know I saw that on there earlier. I don't really know why there's a jiu-jitsu video on there. But Tyler Harmon, yeah, Tyler left Dynasty. Tyler Harmon had been playing for San Diego Dynasty for, I think I was watching, last night I was watching the Spick and Span show. Ryan Greenspan and Kyle Spicka have a YouTube show here on YouTube. It's on Monday nights, but they were talking about Tyler, and I think Tyler said, or I think that Ryan said that Tyler had been playing for the team for 8 seasons. I was like, man, this is his 8th year with Dynasty. That's a very, very long time. I had no idea. I mean, if I looked at their roster, I would have been like, yeah, I mean, these are all, you know, there's probably like 5 guys who've been the team a long time. I just would not have guessed Tyler would have been 8 whole seasons. It's just crazy to me. But Tyler Harmon did leave Dynasty, kind of in the middle of the season, which is kind of odd. After the first event, he just kind of was like, I'm leaving. And, you know, I think that there's two takes on that, right? I think that me leaving in the middle of the season's kind of weird, right? I mean, most of these people and most of the players all have contracts for, you know, at least a season. You know, you at least are saying you're going to play the whole season. Or at least 2 seasons. I mean, most of the paintball contracts we're seeing with a lot of the pro guys end up being 2 seasons. So I don't know, but it's a little odd that he left in the middle of the season. I don't know. It's just kind of weird, right? At least I think finish out the year. You know, at least it's early. At least it wasn't after, you know, the 3rd event or something weird, and just played World Cup with them. So at least he's kind of leaving like early-ish in the middle of the season, which is still kind of weird. But I think the biggest thing people don't like is that, you know, Tyler left Dynasty. I mean, Tyler was Dynasty, or not was Dynasty, but he's definitely one of the more like pivotal players and like, I don't know, critical players or like important players on the team. So seeing him leave is kind of a big deal. I mean, he was always preaching about like, you know, Dynasty being like, here's a PB Nation thread. I was going to see if there's anything interesting here, but I don't know. Tyler was always like, you know, talking about he wanted to be on the team since he was a little kid and was all about Dynasty. So it's a little weird that he leaves, but at the same time, you know, it's like he's reaching the point in paintball where, you know, he can't play another 15 years. You know, he's not 20 years old. So getting to these middle 30, you know, he's like 34, I think, 33, something like that. Maybe a little bit younger. Maybe Tyler's like 31. I don't know. Either way, he's starting to get a little old, right? So I think that taking these opportunities that are available to him now, right? Like being able to play actual professional paintball and get paid money to play paintball is a big deal, right? And Tyler has a family and kids and stuff. So if you can sign that check or sign that contract and get a big sum, like a lump sum of money to, you know, buy a house or put a huge down payment on a house, you know, it's kind of a big deal. So yeah, I'm all for Tyler leaving Dynasty because there are so few opportunities for, you know, professional paintball players to actually make money. You know, he's been putting in so much work for like decades, you know. The kid started playing paintball at 14 years old. So he's put in a ton of work. So I think it's great that he's able to do that and available, or able at least, we'll say, I don't know, to get those paychecks from a team like Houston Heat. Yeah. So we imagine, I mean, that's why he left that team, you know. It was primarily for money, which is good. I mean, you know, I think he had the full support of the team. I think that he talked to most of the guys about it before he made that decision. And everyone was good with him leaving, you know. I mean, they all get it. You know, I mean, the amount of time and effort you put in, you want to try to get something out of it more than just winning, you know. Maybe, you know, 20 years, 30 years later, Tyler can look back and be like, man, I was glad I made that decision because it was able to buy this, you know, house for my family or like secure my future more. Which is a fantastic thing. You know, it's hard, or it's easy for us, you know, on the sidelines, you know, not really knowing the full story, or, you know, just not having that opportunity, right? It's not us that have the opportunity to get paid 80 grand or whatever it is to play paintball. You know, I certainly have not been given that opportunity. I'm sure that if you guys could take that and like people were like, yeah, we'll give you a bunch of money to play paintball, you'd be like, okay. And I get to play for Houston Heat and travel the world and whatever. Yeah. Tyler leaving Heat, a lot of people are talking shit. I am definitely not one of those people. Because I think I get it. Well, a lot of people don't get it. Okay, guys, there were some super chats. We're going to talk about super chat, guys. I much appreciate super chats. We kind of like, I like to like, if I have something like planned I kind of want to talk about, I kind of like to just keep riffing on that, you know, rather than like take little breaks in between, so I appreciate it. But Danny HD with a 199 super chat. I just bought a Geo 4. Did I make a bad choice? No, I don't think so. Certainly not. I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know. It's just like Tyler, right? Tyler was like, I gotta get that money. You know, I gotta take this contract and go play for this paintball team and try to make some money. So if you need to make a lot of money and you're poor, it probably wasn't a good choice, you know? Like, I certainly don't have the money to be blowing on a Geo right now, you know? I need to save all the money I got. So I don't know. I don't think the Geo is bad. I think the Geo, personally, I think it's the best paintball gun you can buy right now. So, I don't know. It's always hard, like, bad choices, you know? I don't know. I don't know. It'd be like, I just bought a Ferrari. Did I make a bad choice? You're like, oh, shit. How much money you got? You know what I'm saying? You guys should go follow me on Instagram. Right there. Sometimes I post stuff. Try to be consistent. Corey Wilson, you have a $2 super chat. I appreciate that too, sir. You say Virtue Ascend versus the Bunker King Command. Well, there's definitely a price difference, a little bit. I mean, there's not a huge price difference anymore. The Ascend when it came out was like $80 or $70, and now it's like $120 or something crazy. So there's not a huge price difference. I think that if prices you're only like, you know, if the price is a big difference between those masks, and you're like, I just have to get the cheaper one, just get the Ascend. The Ascend's a good mask. I don't think that most people that buy the Ascend aren't unhappy with the thing. I mean, it's well made. The lenses come out easy. The lenses are very good. I think the Virtue lenses or those Bunker King lenses are probably the best lenses in paintball. I know personally, I would probably go with the Ascend for two reasons, really. I think that it's comfortable. I really like that like single piece design. So I kind of like, I don't know, I was looking for my E-Flex. I don't know where the hell it's at. Yeah, it's just one piece, you know, it doesn't actually have different ears. So I like that one piece design. But more importantly for me, I much prefer the breathability of the Command. Or the CMD. I keep saying CMD and Command. I like interchangeably like put those names back and forth. But I just like that breathability. I mean, yeah, it's just more breathable. I mean, it just straight up has more ventilation holes, just so breathing's just way easier. So ventilation is the most important thing for me, so that's why I'm going with that thing. We're gonna run through these super chats. My sis is asking for a shout out. Lou Sasshole Kevin. It took a while, but I hope she's still there, maybe. War Metal Snake with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Proflexes. Alan says, yep, I'm with you on the Proflex. Kevin, again with a super chat. Awesome. Big fan. Keep up the work. I want to buy your gear. What does that mean? Like, you want to buy, like, I don't know what that means. Like, you want to buy, like, old stuff that I have laying around, or like, I don't know. I meant to say, John the Pyro says, love my CMD. Yeah, I think those are the best masks. I mean, I think that, well, I don't know if I'd say best, but like, it's the top 3 for me, I would say. I always look at them. I see the all black ones and I'm like, man, those are pretty cool. When these all blue ones were out too, I really wanted to get one of these all blue ones, but I never actually did. Yep. The Bunker King CMD. Yep, they're pretty cool though. When are you going to make jog? Me, probably never. I don't foresee myself making paintball stuff. You know, I really have thought about recently though, like how I could like, I don't know, try to like leverage me some way and figure out how to make like paintball stuff or create a brand or something. An alternative way for me to try to like make money off like maybe paintball or even like other things somehow, you know, I don't know how. But I have thought about starting paintball companies, but there's just so many companies and it's such a difficult thing, you know, it's not like, it's just so hard, right? Like there's so many paintball companies at this point. I think the easiest things to make are gonna be soft goods though, right? Like you said, joggers and jerseys and all that stuff. But there's just so much of it, right? I mean, there's so many pants out in paintball right now. There's probably like 30 different pairs of paintball pants. And they're not really all that different, you know? Like the Infamous pants and the HK pants and like the Virtue pants and there's those Kinetic pants that are pretty cool. But like they're all kind of the same, you know? There's not really like that big of a difference for like me at least to be like, oh, I see a need in the market for this pair of pants or like this product. At this point, I don't think that exists in paintball. I mean, there's definitely a market for like more masks and hoppers and guns, but those things are so expensive. Like I don't have $1 million to like just invest into making that stuff. So, you know, I have thought about that though. Kevin again. Thank you, sir. Any OG things you have besides Sandana headbands? I really don't have anything old, honestly. I don't really have anything worth of value either. Like, I mean, yeah, I do. I guess I got like paintball guns and stuff around here, but they're kind of like things that I'm using for videos or like stuff that I use. Most of the stuff that like, you know, I have for paintball, I just end up getting rid of it, you know? Because at this point, you know, I've been involved with paintball almost my entire life, I feel like. You know, I started playing paintball when I was 17 and I'm 37, you know? And from that very first day, I was in, you know, like worked at stores and fields and everything, right? And companies and owned a paintball store. So like, I've been so into paintball that like, I don't really keep stuff, right? Like I'm not looking to like collect things and like whatever. I just am like, don't really care that much anymore. You know, I'm not super excited about having like cool things and like all the new, you know, jazz or collecting stuff. I definitely have like, you know, some old jerseys that are mine personally. Like there's some stuff around here, but you know, those are more like sentimental things, you know. I don't know, I just don't have that much stuff anymore. I used to have like all I was crazy, man. Crazy about paintball stuff. Nate Hanneman, I appreciate that, dude. I hope you're well. Holy shnikes, maybe? I appreciate it, sir. Very much so. Yeah. Would you ever play Airsoft if it's Speed QB? I don't know, right? Like, Speed QB is probably one of the coolest things like going right now. Let's actually watch some Speed QB videos. You guys want to watch some Speed QB? Let's talk about this. Is Speed QB better than paintball? I don't know. Let's find a Speed QB video. And what's really cool, I think, about this Speed QB stuff I didn't mean to do that. We need to do that. One of the things that's really cool about SpeedQB is what I think's very neat is I want to find like there's one of them that's like there's a couple videos I've seen where they're like played at night and stuff. I don't know. Whatever, we'll just watch this video. Yeah, it's very, very cool. Okay, hold on, I'm getting myself set up a little bit. So I guess we're not gonna like, we don't have to watch this whole video. I want to find like, there's one of them that's like, there's a couple videos I've seen with, I have super echo, there's an echo coming from somewhere, isn't there? Maybe there's not. I'm like hearing. I don't know what I'm hearing. I'm like hearing feedback from myself. I don't know. I'm getting all weird. Yeah, one of the things that's cool about SpeedQB, I don't even know where this is at. What is this? Europe somewhere? One of the coolest things I thought was that like it's inside and like it's clean. Like look at how clean it is. There's definitely some videos of people playing at night. That are really cool where people have like, you know, lasers and flashlights on guns. Like look at how easy you can see the BBs because they're ultraviolet or something like that. Like honestly I have no idea, but it's really cool. I think that it's just kind of neat, right? It's everything's so much smaller. I mean, the problem with paintball is that like the paintballs are huge, you know, so you got to carry all these pods and stuff on your back. So it's just a little annoying. Yeah. I think that, man, do I have like, that's why I hear myself. I can like, I had the live stream on it in a tab in the background. I was like hearing myself talking. So yeah, SpeedQB is really cool. I mean, I think that the biggest, problem with paintball is that we got to carry, you know, pods around and stuff like that. So you got to carry this crap on your back and like, even if you're playing MagFed, you still got to carry like magazines and they only have 10 rounds in them, so they're kind of lame. But this is, you know, you get these, you know, airsoft pistols that shoot hundreds of rounds and stuff. So everything's super small, and I think that it's just interesting. It's very interesting. It's essentially paintball with airsoft guns though. So it's not like anything crazy and like revolutionary, but I don't know. I just think that it's very neat. Well, the video I saw one time was at night, and the video at night was really cool. It's so funny how everyone wears dye masks, though. Yeah, it is cool. It's kind of neat. SpeedQB. Yeah. What I really wish is that, like, you know, personally, you know, for me, you know, not even whatever, SpeedQB aside, I wish that there were more places for me personally just to go play, you know, rec ball or play in the woods and stuff. I mean, here in like Sacramento or California, there's just nowhere to play in the woods. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry, I missed super chats. Regarded myth with a euro super chat. I appreciate that. I don't think I've seen a euro before. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we have. Honest opinion, paintball should be cheaper. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everything should be cheaper, right? I mean, ideally. But I don't know how much cheaper paintball can get, you know? I mean, like, we always talk about, like, paint being expensive and stuff, but it's really not that bad, you know? Like, you can buy a $40 case of paint, and there's a, you know, like, that's a lot of stuff, you know? Like, that's a lot of paint, that's a lot of weight. It's just a lot of material, right? And they're able to make those individual paintballs and sell them for only 40 bucks. It's really not that bad, you know? I mean, it'd be great if it was $5, but you know, it's heavy. You know, just think of all the material in there, you know? It's just, I mean, it's just, you know, expensive to make this stuff. And I mean, paintball guns really aren't that expensive. You know, you can get a very, very good paintball gun for $400. That's cheap, I think. And then most of the paintball fields, you know, are 30, 40 bucks to play all day, like 8 hours or something, which, you know, isn't really that bad either. But I hear you. I mean, to go play paintball, you know, you got to spend $100. Paint entry, gas, you know, $100. I'm with you. I don't know though. I'm not really sure if it can get all that much cheaper, you know. It's like skiing or something. It'd be great if it was cheaper. It's like, well, yeah, but the property those ski places are on are like hundreds of millions of dollars. So they got to try to make up that like cost somehow. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Airsoft BBs are crazy cheap, and it's cool because you can just clean them up, right? Like you could do it inside, and you just sweep them up. You know, it's like so easy. You could do it wherever you want. It's not all crazy and messy. So one thing that I wanted to do a while ago was review a paintball mask that we've kind of seen, like, I don't know if we'd say paintball mask. Something like that. Last one. Okay, Kevin, all nice heroes, and then we're gonna talk about this mask. Best average paintball case to buy. So I don't know. I mean, it's always been a hard thing to answer, right? I think that the biggest problem is that there's two things. There's two like problems with like saying that like this is the best paintball to buy. A lot of paintball fields just don't allow you, you know, to use outside paintballs. So, I mean, around here, right? I mean, most of the paintball fields you go to, it's going to be like, oh, you can only use these brands or these colors, or you have to use this specific stuff that we sell. So a lot of the time, it's like, you know, I could say whatever is the best, but the real problem is that like most paintball fields don't allow you to use whatever you want, right? So you can't even like use that stuff that might be the best. And it's difficult because it's not always the case, right? I mean, so many factors and there's so many variabilities in paintballs that like it's hard to say at any time that like this one's always the best, right? Because if it's super hot out that day, or it's raining, or for some reason at the factory, you know, the humidity was off a little bit for that day. There's so many factors that it's really hard to say this paintball is the best. What I've always said, and what I always liked at the paintball store, or when whatever, is when customers would actually come to the paintball store and then ask us what was the best. Because we can kind of say, right? Because we've had customers buy all of it and kind of like tell us their feedback on that batch, you know? The next batch might be a little bit different, but, you know, the guys at the paintball store should at least be able to say what's been good lately. That's what I like. That's not the answer. That's not probably not the answer you wanted, but that's like that's the real answer. I think that if I had to go with one brand though, that's like consistently the best, it's probably Valken. Valken paintballs. Yeah, I think that the Valken probably don't make the best high-end paint. They probably don't make the best cheap stuff. But like, it's kind of always the same. So it's super consistent. So if you liked it one time, you're probably gonna like it the next time. That's what I think. Oh, that's the best paintballs. Okay, so yeah, a long time ago, I wanted to do like a video on a paintball mask that we saw on AliExpress. You know, one of those like, you know, that cheap knockoff website that's just got a lot of cheap knockoff stuff on it, like this thing. So this is the actual mask. I actually went and bought this thing a long time ago. I mean, it was probably like 2 years ago. I've had this thing sitting around for a while. We actually never made a video on it, mainly because there's just been so many other videos. So really, this kind of is the dye mask, right? I mean, it's really just like a knockoff of, you know, the dye i4. It looks very, very similar to that dye i4. I mean, like very, very similar. Like if you went like this, you'd be like, oh, it's an i4. Like, it looks exactly the same. The only real big, I mean, obvious differences are, you know, you don't have any dye logos, right? So it's kind of obvious to tell right away. There's literally no dye logos anywhere on it. The dye masks have a logo right there on the nose that is actually on the, I think the i4, that part right there is actually solid. It's not actually ventilated like that. So yeah, these things very, very similar to the dye mask. So I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. maybe we'll get one of those and try it out. And then people started putting videos online. Some of these videos started popping up. So I think one of the like kind of craziest videos I think we first saw of these. Man, I wish there was an easier way to copy this. So this was one of the first videos we saw of these knockoff masks. This is a paintball field in England, and they just like literally first shot and just broke the lens. And there's a lot of other videos out there like this. Oh, I didn't even realize we gotta switch over. There we go. Yeah, so they just, you know, set this mask up, gave it a few shots, and just annihilated it. So there's a lot of other videos out there. This is not like the only video of these masks just getting destroyed. So if you like your vision, I would not buy one of these things just because they're not very good. I mean, those lenses are not ASTM approved, right? So ASTM is the American, I don't know, I've forgotten. But yeah, they're not ASTM approved, so they've never been tested for impact or anything like that. So you're buying this thing, you don't really even know what you're getting. You're just getting like a piece of plastic that's clear that hopefully doesn't break when you get shot in it. But obviously, like we've seen from that video, and there's countless other ones too. Let's find another one. Yeah, there's countless other ones. So it's like, yeah, just don't buy these things. I mean, if you need a paintball mask, just buy a real mask. Buy a name brand one. Go buy the Dye mask or the HK masks or JT or Empire or Push, or, you know, there's a gang of mask companies out there. Don't just look for like the best deal, because, you know, eyes are cool. I don't know. That's all. That's all I got. So these things suck. Don't buy it. I don't know what to do with this thing now, though. It's been sitting around here for so long. I was gonna do a video on it, and I'm like, well, let's just talk about it during a live stream. And then we'll like make that a clip, and then I'll put that clip somewhere. Yep. So that's that. Who's got questions? I like questions. $30 for a headband. Sheesh. That's not too bad. You should go see the Hermesis ones. Fuck. Whew. $30 for a headband. That's pretty much average now. I mean, probably the cheapest paintball headbands you can find are probably like 20. I mean, maybe you can get one for like 15 somewhere. Yep. What else we got to talk about? I put some other things on here. This is kind of interesting. You know, a while ago, MacDev actually this week or a couple weeks ago posted. Oh, there we go. Last week, MacDev posted. Nope, that's definitely not what I want to do. MacDev. Nope, that's not what we want to do. Here we go. MacDev put this on their Facebook page. MacDev, paintball maybe I should just log in, but I can't log in. Whatever. SM Insane, a $20 super chat. Awesome. Thank you, sir. What do you think is better? Geo4 or CS2 Pro? Want to get one. What do you think is better? Man. I honestly don't know. What would I pick? I think I would pick, if I was picking a paintball gun, right? I think that I would probably choose the Geo. Mainly because I don't know where it's at. I got one around here. Mainly because I just like the way it feels more. I mean, I really like the front foregrip on the Geo 4. And for me, that's the biggest difference between the guns. I mean, they shoot a little bit different, and the CS2 does have more features, right? Like, definitely the eyes are a little bit nicer on the CS2. And there's other little, like, you know, random little bits that are a little nicer. Triggers more adjustable, stuff like that. But I don't really care. I mean, for me, the main things that are important are like reliability, ergonomics, and that's about all, right? Like, those are the two main important things. They're just as reliable, and the Geo 4 I think has more, or I think the Geo 4 has better ergonomics, at least like the way the thing feels. So I would pick the Geo 4, but the CS2 is technically a better gun, you know, because ergonomics are just kind of preference. And there are more features and more nicer things on that CS2. But I think that they're very minuscule and minor, so I don't think it's a big difference. So I'm going Geo 4 just because of the ergonomics. But that's totally a preference thing. So if you can, I would recommend holding them both and trying shooting them. Yep. So the other day, MacDev put this on Facebook. MacDev put... problem switching. There we go. MacDev put that on Facebook. They said, another week closer to the XDR. So MacDev are releasing a new mid-range paintball gun. It's going to be $850 for just the normal electronic version. It's going to come with, I don't know, MacDev stuff. But I ordered this thing, so I paid for one of these, and they were supposed to be here early June. So we're hoping that they start shipping pretty soon. I mean, they did get all the parts, they said, and they're just like sending stuff off for anodizing and stuff like that. There's the new bolt system. They actually posted a link to the support page, which is cool. But we still actually do not have one. The MacDev XDR. So this thing, I mean, obviously, price-wise, should be set to compete with the Planet Eclipse 170R. I don't know why I was waiting for that. Because they're really, I mean, in that same price. And at this point, the 170R, hands down, is the best, like, sub-$1,000 gun. There's really not any other competition out there. We have the Empire 6, which I actually kind of like a lot, but most people hate. So, yeah. So really, essentially, it's just a 170R. So I hope that, you know, MacDev are able to release the XDR. XDR and 170R sound very similar. I hope they're able to release that XDR fairly soon, and then we're just, you know, able to get one. Release it soon. I don't know. It's going to ship straight to me. So hopefully, you know, they get it and it's competing, is what I meant to say. Hopefully it, like, competes and kind of like, I don't know, it's just a better gun than MacDev's previous stuff, because I don't really like the MacDev guns that much. So I just hope it's a little better. And maybe getting closer to competing with the Planet Eclipse stuff, because the Planet Eclipse guns are just so much better than everything. It's just gotten crazy. Best budget mask. What's your budget? What does that mean? Like 30 bucks? Or like, you know, 80 bucks? I think budget, and I'm gonna think about 60 bucks. 70 bucks. I would pick, I think someone said it right there. Robert Hart said two people said profiler. Profiler. Yeah, I think there are two masks that are like very good deals. The profiler, which I also really like, the V-Force profiler. And then there's JT Proflex. The Proflex and the why am I thinking? V-Force profiler. Yeah. $50. Yeah, you can get a profiler. I think profilers are like $69. They might be like $65 now, so you might have to bump up a little bit. But you can get the profiler. Proflexes are, jeez, Proflexes are weird price. They're like $67.95 or something, right? Or Proflexes are. No, they're oddly priced. Which is whatever, you know. I don't know. A lot of these paintball companies have got weird prices for stuff. A lot of the prices keep changing too, right? I mean, because supply shortages and shipping times and shipping prices increasing and all kinds of stuff. I mean, man, wasn't the EMAC? I mean, I think the EMAC has changed. The EMAC has changed 3 times. It was $224.95 when it came out, I think. And then it was like $250, and then now it's like $275. And then there's also like an aluminum shortage apparently. I was talking to someone at GOG or Smart Parts or DLX or whatever the hell we're calling those people last week, and they were talking about an aluminum shortage. So hopefully we don't have like some crazy aluminum shortage and then have like everything's gonna be missing. You know, everything uses aluminum. Nick Woodman with a $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. The best cheap mask is the base GSO. I'll die on that hill. But you can't buy the base GSO anymore. It's called like the carbon something or other. My problem with the mask, that mask specifically though, it's right here. This right here, for anyone who's interested, this right there is the mask that we're talking about right there. This is the base GSO. So this is was really a random, like I think Swedish company or something like that Virtue was kind of working with, and now base was actually sold to Carbon Paintball. So Carbon is actually going to start like making more of this stuff. These are good masks. I really like these. The quality is really good. Those lenses are really good. They breathe really well. They were cool. They're only like $50 or something like that. But my biggest problem with these, eventually we'll switch back. We're not switching back. Why is it not switching? I don't know. What's up, guys? So my biggest problem was just how big it is, right? Like, it goes so far down that like when I actually went to shoot my gun, right? Like I would hit my the mask with my tank and shit. So I'd be like going to shoot and it'd be like moving my mask around. So I have to wear it like weirdly high. So I like these. I just think it's too big. I think for some people it just hangs down so much that like it'd be like like pushing the mask and stuff. It's super annoying. I should just wear this the whole time. We're gonna go play paintball. So yeah, for sure, I really like these things. I think they have like camo ones now and stuff like that. They're pretty cool. Pretty sweet. Base GSOs, yeah, they are good. I'm not gonna pronounce your name, Mr. Rollo. I think Rollo. I appreciate it. €5 though. I want to go to Europe. When can we go to Europe? I don't think we can go to Europe. America's like, it's crazy out there. So if any of you guys are from like, I like have like this like detachment from society. I think it makes me a little happier. Base is a Finnish company, I think. That sounds right. They did make the pods. They made a couple other things too. They made those like weird square pods that were very weird. Yeah, man, it's crazy that like so many other, like in America, right? It's crazy that like this COVID thing, now that like lots of people are getting vaccinated and like people are getting more comfortable finally a year and a half later wearing masks. It's crazy how case numbers and deaths have just like plummeted, right? They're dropping so far off in America that it's crazy. But like, we should all, if you're in the United States, be extremely, extremely grateful that you live in a country that we have this vaccine and we're able to like do a lot of this stuff. It's crazy in Canada, they still can't go anywhere, you know? And like, there's so many countries that are so messed up still. It's crazy that like, through all of this that happened and all the craziness that like happened in America, in the United States, it's crazy that we're like almost through all that. It's crazy. It's just weird to me. And we should just be grateful that like you live in this country, right? And you should also be grateful for your fellow American citizens. All these people that are like this week I posted a picture on Facebook about the beach in California, and it was deserted. On my own personal Facebook, it was deserted. The beach was deserted. And I was like, everyone's leaving California. See you in hell, motherfuckers. Just joking around, right? And I was like, that's all I said. And then I was like, all these people come on here and start talking shit about California. It's like, who cares? We all need to like, just care for everybody. We need to like not be so angry, right? You getting angry and like us upset at people, it's not helping anyone. It's just crazy to me. So if you're from Texas and you hate California, ask yourself why. You know, I don't hate Texas people. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. People complain so much about so much bullshit. You guys have to get over yourselves. Derek Rose says he has a man crush on Oliver. I don't. I used to think Oliver was the coolest person ever, and now he's like... I am all about people free thinking and stuff, but like... What I want is to know the truth and like actual things about like the actual nature of reality and the actual nature of things. Because I think the more reality and the more things that you actually know, the more we can like apply those like, you know, physics things you know and like whatever things we know. So the more true information you have, the better it is. And I think today a lot of people search for truth and meaning in places that aren't real. So like, I think sometimes people have like looked for truth and meaning or like things that aren't real. I think Oliver, there was a time at a paintball tournament where I heard Oliver talking some crazy shit. Did you already talk about Tyler Harmon? Yeah, I talked about Tyler a while ago. You know what's also weird about Tyler is I was like, man, because he does the PTG podcast, the Play the Game podcast with Marcelo, fellow Dynasty player, right? And I was like, man, he's leaving Dynasty, and they kind of have a Dynasty podcast where they talk about the team all the time. So if he leaves Dynasty, the podcast will be a little bit weirder, I presume. Mm-hmm. I thought that was weird. And I also was like, man, you know, Dynasty, like half of their team has a podcast. I was like, there are not a lot of like, that I know of. I mean, there's all these like paintball podcasts that nobody listens to, you know, like this thing. Really, I mean, no one watches this stuff. What was I talking about? There's all these paintball podcasts, yeah, but the two popular ones, it's like Dynasty people, which I thought was weird. I'm like, man, like a third of their team is on a paintball podcast. It's like, that's weird. I think a quarter of the team or something like that. Half? A third. We'll go with a third. Did Ollie start microdosing? Is that what happened? I have no idea. I don't know. I got no idea. But that's fine. I got no problem with like... We just gotta like look at like the truth, right? It's very important to like understand the truth, right? Like I think people like often look at things too, and you hear something and you read something and people are just like, cool. Rather than just being like, why? Or that's weird. Or I wonder who found that out. Or this makes that do this, that's funny. Because like asking those questions is how you come to like real things. So like doing drugs aside, it doesn't matter, right? Like whatever. But we still have to use logic and reason and like these things are important in life. It's like these people who read tarot cards. It's like, what is happening? Tarot card reading is getting popular. What's your favorite Lux? Probably not asking me. Someone asked earlier, we'll talk about that. Someone asked earlier if they should wait, if they should get a Geo4 or they should wait for the TM40s to come out and like wait for those to come out a little bit and then decide if they should get a TM40 in like a couple months or something, or if they get a Geo4. And for me personally, you know, like someone asked about the CS2 earlier, right? And I think that for the Geo4, for me, that ergonomics is the thing, right? And the difference between the way that the TM40, the Luxes feel, compared to the Eclipse guns is pretty dramatic, right? I think that there's a pretty big difference in feel. So I wouldn't even wait that long, right? Like, we don't have to wait till the TM40 comes out. I'd go like try to hold the Lux X or Lux Ice or any of the Luxes and like see if you like the way it feels. And if you like the way that it feels more, buy the Lux, buy that TM40. Because really, I think the TM40 and the Lux X are really good. Like, there's good paintball guns. I don't think they're as good as that, you know, Geo4 CS2 yet, but they're getting close, you know, they're pretty close. Yep. When do you think the Mini GS will be back in stock? I don't know. They've had problems with the Minis for a while. It's really just GI. I mean, GI's had a hard time manufacturing everything for the last year and a half. So, I truly don't know. I don't think they know, right? Like, yeah. I mean, most of these companies are always pushing stuff back, right? Like we talked about MacDev, right? They're supposed to ship the gun not that long ago. I think only like last week or a couple weeks ago. But, you know, they're pushing it back for some reason. So I truly have no idea. Stefan. I always get Steven and Stefan confused. Yeah. I don't know why I went on some like truth, we need to know the truth thing. It's just crazy. So many people believe so many crazy things nowadays. Yep. Who's got something to talk about? I've fully exhausted the things I want to talk about. Does the TM40 does the TM40 significantly different than the Lux X? No, not really. I mean, it's almost the same exact gun. I mean, it uses the same bolt, the frame comes off the same, feed neck's the same, regulator's the same, on-off's the same, board's the same. I mean, it's literally almost the same gun. They just, you know, tweaked a few things. They changed the bolt a little bit. They added a different coating to the bolt. But TM40, I mean, it's essentially a Lux X. Yeah. Which I don't know why. You know, like sometimes these companies will release guns and it's like, back in the day, they used to come out with them every 2 years or every year. You know, you'd see like with Planet Eclipse, right? You got the Ego 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And they finally stopped. And I don't know. I think that if back in the day they used to do that because they had to sell stuff, right? I mean, people were buying the things, right? So you make a gun and people would buy it. It's really pretty simple. It was that easy. But nowadays, it's like, man, the paintball guns are all so good. Like, there's so many good options. It's like, I feel like you kind of have to make stuff better, right? Like, this Lux X and the TM40 thing, it's like, it's the same gun. It's not really that much different. I mean, it looks different. It's named after Tim Montresor. That man right there. Damn. Yeah. Tim. Yeah, so it's just weird, you know, it's like, I don't know why I lost train of thought, but it's just weird. I'd like them to like make more improvements, right? Like, I don't even know if like they need to be improvements. It's like if they just made it different, you know, like make stuff different, I think would be cool. I don't know, but it kind of seems the same. Corey Wilson, you are my main source of paintball information because I love your opinions and explanations. Also, seem like a cool dude. Well, thank you, sir. I don't know. I think that I'm good for sure. I think I'm good at explaining myself. That's about all. I think I can like talk kind of good because I've been doing this for a while. I've gotten better at talking. That's for sure. Yeah, but I've recently definitely not been as like up on like all the cool new things because there's really not a lot happening, but all the little intricacies. I always talk about that because I like avoid Facebook. So if everything happens on Facebook in paintball. I have like a notification thing set up so I can log into Facebook and see like a bunch of like notifications from companies that have posted and stuff, but now it's just crazy. So it's hard to do. Brandon says, I think that's why we're seeing so many private label guns again. Everyone has a marker out and the milling is all they change right now. We've definitely seen a ton of private label guns, that's for sure, right? I mean, we saw like those adrenaline guns. I mean, we got the adrenaline shockers, the adrenaline Lux, which I did a video. We will have a video fairly soon on that thing. I want to actually review the TM40 first. Yeah, we have the adrenaline Luxes, the adrenaline shockers. I mean, HK made their like A40, A51. I don't know. They made their Lux. They had the CS2. They did the 170R. I mean, there's all these cockers. There's the twisters. There really are a lot of like custom paintball guns right now, huh? There really are, and they're all like super limited and exclusive and kind of hard to get. It's like I tried to buy one of those Twister Geos, the Twister Geo 4, like these right here, and I just couldn't get one. I mean, they sold out so goddamn fast that it was like, well, I won't be getting one of those. I tried to buy one. They sold out in what, like 2.5 minutes or something like that. I tried to buy an all black one. I had like an all black one ready to go, and I was like, bam, it made me log in, and I was like, I tried to make an account yesterday, but the website was down, so it didn't really work. Something about a full auto EMEC. What's going on? AC, what's going on? Any thoughts on how true it is that you could make an EMEC full auto? I mean, you can. It's just a bunch of, I don't know how to do it. I mean, I don't know how to technically do it. You know, I couldn't be like, oh, I'll put this here and do, you know. I mean, maybe I can figure it out. But yeah, sure. I mean, you could make anything full auto. I mean, essentially, like, all full auto is like you bouncing the trigger, you know? If you guys are familiar with electronic mechanical bounce, you know, like, say this is the trigger, you pull the trigger back to shoot the gun, right? But you pull the trigger back and then the gun kicks and it kind of like shoots itself, sorta, you know? So like, full auto, that's kind of all full auto is that you're like holding the trigger back, and on like a mechanical gun, if we had full auto, you'd have to like build some sort of mechanism in where it like, it didn't allow the pin to go all the way forward or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. So you could for sure do it. I mean, you know, there's mechanical full auto other things out there, so it's for sure possible, but you probably couldn't do it by like just changing out the trigger or something like that. It probably would require, like, I presume, like a trigger, a valve, and like maybe even a whole different trigger frame, you know? So, I mean, it's technically possible, you know. I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah. Man, just the double trigger, like super stanchiy trigger, I mean, double trigger EMEC. Let's see if I can find this picture this quickly. Yeah, even this video, or not this video, but even the double trigger kit, you know, from Super Stanchiy, this thing. Why don't I click that? I don't like that. Let's just. Yeah, even this thing, it's just wild, right? Like, it's just insane how fast this gun can shoot. It's just wild. You know, that's the mechanical EMEC with a super stanchiy frame, so it's just crazy how fast it'll shoot.
I mean, that's kind of crazy for a gun that's, you know, just mechanical.
That's me trying to shoot it. So yeah, I don't even know if you need it, you know, like, I mean, you can get the EMEC to shoot this fast with just like, just buying like the double trigger kit.
I mean, that's kind of crazy for a gun that's, you know,
that's pretty cool.
Mechanical.
Someone said, would I get a level 10, auto mag level 10, or an EMEC? EMEC, 1,000,000 times every day. 1,000,000 times. Those level 10 kits suck. I'm sorry. They're bad, right? Like, man, I worked for when I worked, so this was probably like, oh gosh, this is probably like 2004, 5, I don't know, something like that, 3, somewhere in there. I worked for Predator Paintball in Sacramento, California. And before I worked there for a decade, this store sold heap loads of auto mags, like just piles of auto mags, right? Like millions of them, it seemed like. There were like 4 pro teams that play out of the store that shot auto mags. There was a paintball field. There were so many auto mags, right? So many auto mags. So I have messed with and like installed and adjusted so many of those level 10 kits. I am never gonna do it again. Ever. 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 The eMech, you just use it. There's no adjustments or settings or anything. You just play paintball with it. And it's quieter and shoots smoother. It's easier on paint than any auto mag ever. Yeah. Auto mags are fun though. Like, I kind of like the old classic ones. Just basic classic auto mags are cool. I am not an auto mag fan. Mainly just because we had to fix so many of them and I'm just like tired of the damn things. For sure. So tomorrow morning, there's a video on that coming out. The Speedster. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. 10 a.m.? Maybe it's going up at 9, I don't know. Corey, could you fire the eMech like that with the trigger upgrade? Or would you need the Valve 2 for that? There's two kind of, right? Two things. Let's see. I'll show you real quick. So, I mean, you can just find this video too. I mean, I literally like made this video. You can search "electronic paintball guns are dead." I changed the title this morning. Film that first section of B-roll, and so this clip right here is with the double trigger kit and the stock valve, and this is me literally trying to shoot as fast as I can. You just can't walk the trigger. I mean, it's like a little better, but not really. And then this is with the Deadly Wind Hair 45 valve and that double trigger. I mean, you can see that it's just really easy to shoot. It's so easy. Is wild. So you don't like, I mean, to take like full, we'll say to take like, you know, full advantage of that like double trigger kit, you for sure need like, yeah, it would be probably advantageous to buy the Deadly Wind valve too. Electronic paintball guns are dead. I changed the title of that this morning to see if more people would click it. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a weird thing, right? I mean, it's a little bit of a weird thing, right? Like, because it's just weird. It's like $500. When you're done with it, the whole gun's like $500. And it's like, I don't know, is it better than an eMech? I mean, I don't think it's better than the standard eMech, because the double trigger, like shooting it fast like that, I mean, to me, kind of defeats the purpose of the eMech. I mean, the purpose of the eMech to myself, you know, is that it's simple, it's shoot slow, and you can just use it. You know, when you start shooting fast like that, you gotta put an electric hopper on it, and you start maybe breaking more paint, and just more things can happen. So it's neat, you know, it's fun, but I'm still leaving it. I wouldn't personally do it to my gun. I know a lot of people have though, so a lot of people have done it. You know. Michael says, seriously though, mech has the future. Why would we continue with electronic guns once we can limit mech? I don't know how you can limit the rate of fire on mechanical guns though. That's why we don't need a limit on mechanical guns, I don't even think. So I don't. There's literally a video on. There's literally. Let me see here. I've wanted to talk about this before. So, what are you saying? Mechanical guns of the future. Why will we continue electronic guns? So the reason that we have, the only reason that we have electronic guns, or like, well, not the only reason, but like, you know, the main reason that we use electronic guns that have a cap on the rate of fire. Corey. Thank you, sir. I think you're a sir. I met a Corey yesterday that was a lady, so I think so. There's no, you spell it differently. Got it. Yeah, there's, I'm all over the place. Mechanical has the future. I don't know. I mean, I think that mechanical guns are for sure getting way better, right? I mean, they're considerably better than they ever have been, but electronic stuff's also really cheap, right? Like electronic guns, they're not really, like, you gotta think that like the ETHA versus the EMEC, I mean, it's like double the price, but it doesn't probably have to be, right? There's more to it than just the cost in pricing, right? So I think that the mechanical guns have gotten really good, but like, you know, the future is electronic, whether it's like cars or whatever it is, you know, like the future is electronic, you know, it's not mechanical, I think. So I think that the future of paintball guns will probably always continue to be electronic, just because that's what we want, right? Like I don't want the Lux to come out and they're like, it's not electric anymore. Like what? That would be weird, right? Like we want stuff to like get better. So I think that the improvements in that are gonna continue to be electronic, right? So I think that we'll continue to see those electric guns, but I don't know. But in the Pro Division, the only reason we have a cap is because the rate of fire got so crazy, right? The rate of fire was just insane. So at the time, there weren't any good mechanical guns. So it was like, well, we just got to put a cap on the rate of fire. So let's just cap it at 10 balls a second and we're good. That was the only option. But now, like if we had that crazy electronic 20 ball a second guns we're shooting problem, we might actually look into mechanical guns, right? Like you could be like, why do we shoot electronic guns in the Pro Division or whatever, right? Like, why don't we have these guys use EMEX or, you know, whatever paintball guns, you know, they could use shockers or, you know, whatever mechanical gun, but they have to use a trigger pull that's X amount of pounds or whatever. So you can't have, you know, crazy full auto like double trigger guns. You'd have to have, you know, a heavier trigger pull so you could only shoot 8-9 balls a second. I personally like that idea. I think that making the guns mechanical in that fashion, like snap shooting and running and shooting, all gets more skilled, right? And it still has a low rate of fire. So you're adding the skill of being able to actually shoot the gun and run, but we're not having a crazy uncapped semi-auto rate of fire problem. But the real problem with that is that like I said, we're going to continue to probably see these high-end guns advance. So we're going to continue to see, you know, the CS4 or whatever is going to be electronic, right? The Lux 15 is going to be electronic because that's just how things go, you know? We're not seeing like iPhones get worse, you know, they're getting more and more crazier, you know? So we'll probably see that same thing with paintball guns. But the manufacturers, to be able to sell those things, you know, they got to have them in players' hands. They got to have pro players using them to show them off on the webcast and be like, you know, whatever, selling their products. So while I think that like maybe in the Pro Division, we technically probably could use, you know, EMEX and autocockers and whatever people were using, I don't think we should, or I don't think we will, because I want the manufacturers to be able to sell products. I want Planet Eclipse and Dye and Empire and whoever to sell as much stuff as they possibly can. And the way they can do that is, you know, using the pro teams to advertise their high-end guns. Yeah, so I don't think we will see it because, you know, we need advertising dollars. Manufacturers have to sell their high-end products. Yep. It probably is the main reason. Yeah. I was gonna do like, I actually had like Nightmare! I was watching the other day. I think it was the other day, dude. I don't ever look at paintball stuff on YouTube, but I think you were doing a live stream and popped up. I believe so. It was either I watched a live stream or like I watched an old one. I can't remember. Anyway, 8 to 9 balls a second is ideal. I'm with you. I mean, 8, I don't know. 8 is so slow though. Like, what I really want is not even like fast, right? I want to pull the trigger and a paintball comes out every time. And when you get to 8 balls a second with electric guns, when you cap at 8 balls a second in electric guns, you're like pulling the trigger and nothing's happening. So it's very weird. Like you go to shoot people and like no paintballs are coming out. It's very odd. So I want to be able to just pull the trigger and a paintball come out every time, you know? It's like playing these mechanical tournaments with electronic guns that are capped at 5. It's like, man, it's so hard. It's just so weird. Yeah, it's just odd. But I'm with you. I mean, I hate the high rate of fire stuff. I mean, yeah. We've never really seriously played it 8 balls a second. I've played NXL and PSP. I've played it every single situation. So I've played when it was uncapped. I even played full auto multiple months in a row when we were helping Oakland Assassins get ready. So I played ramping 10 balls, ramping 12, true semi, like all of it. And I think that 10 balls is probably the best. At least for like, you know, NXL or like pro paintball stuff. Whatever. Yeah. Mag-fed, close quarters, first strike. I'm down. I would absolutely love to be able to go play like mag-fed and like first strike stuff, you know? We can't even like show these goddamn things on YouTube anymore. But this is an EMEC, or this is an EMF 100, and we can't even, Nightmare will tell you, can't even show this crap anymore, or they like demonetize videos. So like, this is the EMF 100 under here, and I would really like to be able to use this. YouTube seriously will demonetize this video if I uncover it. Like, no joke, they really will. What about capped semi? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like capped semi. Because it's weird, right? It's like, especially with the electronic guns. Put that down. Especially with the electronic guns, because like, it's just weird, right? It's almost ramping, because you're like, capped semi 10 balls a second, and you're just like, it's just capped at 10. So like, why not just have ramping? You know, it's like, I don't know if it's much different, so who knows? Nightmare got a message. You got your message deleted. I was gonna try to like something. You were probably mad, so you're typing in all caps. Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. So like, yeah, YouTube's gotten, it's crazy, right? Like I totally get it, right? Like I totally get it. If I was YouTube, I would not want anything to do with real guns. I wouldn't allow that shit on my website. Like just don't, I just don't want anything to do with it. You know, like I'm not saying like it's good or bad. Me personally, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but as a company, like wouldn't you just want not, I just don't want anything to do with real guns, right? Like you'd want to like, kind of like, why do we have like people taking apart AR-15s on our website? You know what I mean? Like why does that exist? So like, I totally get it from YouTube's standpoint, but my God, it is so hard. It's so hard to like that EMF 100, like the I hate calling it that. The MG 100 sounds so much better. Yeah. Yeah, anything that looks like a real gun, bam, they don't like it. So if it looks like, you know, that mag-fed gun, bam, they're not gonna like that. I noticed too that when I like take stuff apart, like in this video, right? Like this is a good example. When I take stuff apart, in videos too, they can't really discern, like the algorithm and the computer vision, this right here, they don't know what that is. It looks at that thing and thinks it's a real gun part. So even when like, I have nothing that looks like a real gun, right? I'm holding this though, and like, they see this stuff and like these little parts like that, right? And they think it's a gun. So a lot of the videos that I end up like putting on here, I kind of have to like not put stuff in or tweak stuff to try to get it to work. Because they see this and they're like, that's a real firearm, you can't have firearm stuff. Well, they'll let you put it on, but I can't monetize it. So like this video is not monetized because they would not allow it. Even after like the, I don't know, check manual claim check, I forget what they call that. When they actually like tell you you can't monetize this video, they let you like appeal it. And even after the appeal on this video, I'm pretty sure they did not allow monetization. Yeah, I don't know, this is annoying. Anyway. I don't know, censorship on like paintball content, I don't know, dude. I mean, I know definitely the YouTube stuff, but it's not, they're not like censoring paintball stuff, you know? It's not specifically paintball. It's just that like, they see it and it looks like a real gun, you know? And I get it, you know, I totally get it. Oh, yeah. Dude, it sucks. I know, I thought about you guys, I'm like, and I'm thinking about the Airsoft people, and I'm like, man, like MagFed and Airsoft guys, like, you kind of can't put anything on there. You know, at least like, when I'm doing, you know, I'm doing like, you know, paintball, like, you know, making a video on a mask or something, like, they don't care about that stuff. They just care about when it looks like a paintball, or when it looks like a real gun. And I've noticed that, you know, none of the like, gameplay stuff ever gets in trouble. So it's not like, from my aspect, it's not paintball. It's just they think it's a real gun. Like they think it's a real gun. And a good like 75% of the time when I like ask for them to manual review, it gets like fixed, but still it doesn't. It's funny, Michael's like, down with the corporate overlords. Well, they're not censoring anything, right? Like, it's not YouTube censoring it. It's like, they're allowing you to put the things online. They're not saying that I can't put it online. It's just that no one wants to buy ads against it. It's not, YouTube has nothing to do with it. It's our free market. Like, that's how America works, right? I put this video online, and then no advertisers want anything to do with real guns. So that's why YouTube's like, you can't show video ads on this, because we don't have any advertisers that actually want to show ads on this crap. But when they realize it's paintball, it's a little bit different. They're like, oh, okay, well, you know, it's not real guns. There's no like, it's not like censorship. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. And it's a private company too. So YouTube, I mean, they're a private business, right? So they should be able to do whatever they want. I sure as hell wouldn't want to own a business and the government tell me what I can do. You know, like when I owned my paintball store, I couldn't imagine the state of California coming in and being like, you're required to help those people. I'd be like, no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can do whatever you want. It's a private company. Well, they're not really private. I mean, they're publicly traded, but you know what I'm saying. What's better, running a store or doing Paintball Ruin My Life? Well, they're so much different. I don't know. I didn't really like, the last like year of the paintball store, I did not really like that much. House of Highlights. I know we saw like, there was definitely some highlights on like ESPN's Instagram or something like that. I did not, House of Highlights is mainly like, Noah, I see you around here often. I really like the guys who like keep coming back. You also said Demolition Ranch. They're a channel that I kind of watch to like kind of see what they're doing, just to like get ideas about what they're doing. House of Highlights is mainly basketball, right? I think it is. Nick, do you think paintball would ever make to the point where it's televised again? I don't know, right? Like, does it even matter? I mean, like, what's on TV? Like, the most popular thing on TV is The Masked Singer. Oh my gosh. I don't know, man. People watch the stupidest shit ever, so I don't know, you know? And nowadays, with the internet, it doesn't really matter. You know? It's like, you know, technically, you know, like, last night, right? Or the other night, that, like, Floyd Mayweather, like, Logan Paul fight that was on. You know, that was huge! And it's technically not on TV, you know, it's on like a special service that you gotta like pay for and all this nonsense. So, like, I don't really know if it like, I don't know, it just doesn't matter if it's on TV, you know, maybe 10 years ago it did, but not in 2021. Yeah. I don't watch TV. You know, I haven't owned, I mean, I own TVs, there's one there, there's one behind me, there's one in that room. There's one in the living room. You know, they're all over the goddamn place. So, but I haven't paid for cable TV in maybe since 2008. That's crazy. I do wish that you know, Paintball Netflix, I've thought about that shit, dude. Yeah. Paintball Netflix. Oh, it got like my train of thought. I was like thinking about. I don't know what I was thinking about. Corey. Yeah, I do kind of wish the NXL would like put more like, I don't know, games on YouTube though. I mean, they do stream for like, you know, an hour, but I don't know. It's just kind of hard to find the Go Sports stuff. Go Sports doesn't do a very good job of like, well, I mean, I guess they do a good job of promoting themselves. I just don't pay attention. Yeah. Well, that's funny. Michael, if F1 can do it, literally when I think about paintball, I thought about Paintball Netflix and I'm like, well, Drive to Survive literally changed Formula One. Like, it like revolutionized Formula One. And like, it was already huge and it's just gotten even crazier. So, yeah. Yeah, so, you know, the best paintball video ever made, right? Like, the best paintball video ever made, like, hands down. Like, it's not even close, right? Like, it's not even close. This is the best video that's ever been made for paintball. Like, ever. Like, there's not an HK video, there's not anything made in the last 20 something years that's anywhere close to this video. I'm really hyped that up, so. So this is Push. This is Patrick Sporer right there. I was gonna hopefully like find the intro title, but
Marshall.
Yeah.
Davey Williamson.
It's really quiet.
Todd. They're all 22 and under, and they all can flat out play. And they put a fire in us old guys.
This video, for me, does two things, right? What this doing is showing me a couple of things, right? It's showing me how cool paintball can be, number one. Actually, I'd say number two, it's showing me how cool paintball can be and like how fun it is and like, you know, just the neat stuff that's happening. Like you're bunkering people and like there's various places to play it. Like look at this cool woods ball field. And then they like go to a hyperball and airball. So it's like doing a very good job of showing me like the game of paintball, right? Like it's just fantastic. But I think more importantly, what this video did for me was show me that like paintball's fun, right? Like there's like a group of dudes hanging out and like they travel all over the place and they have tons of fun and they're just messing around. like this, right? Like, it's so quiet.
Yeah, not got a double bunker. A little circus midget. What? How was it? Paintballs to the right of me. Paintballs to the left of me. So gone. Shut up, it's my story.
So anyway, yeah, I think that this push video did both of those things extremely well. So, I mean, if anything's ever going to happen in paintball that like helps us like propel and like show people cool stuff, it's going to have something that's like just shows like camaraderie and like that we're a family and we have fun. But paintball is not that, right? I mean, you go on the internet and like listen to these people and like everyone complains and talks so much shit about everybody that like, I don't know, it's just so annoying. So like, I wish paintball was this again. I wish it was this like fun and family and like everyone loved everyone, kind of. It was a little drama because they're pro, but yeah. It's great. So, I mean, I wish that we could make like something like this again, because it shows that like emotion very well too. You know, like this is really good. Very good. So what I want to do, what I really would like to try to do is not necessarily make a entire video or like a movie like this, but I really want to go like Billy Serinsky. Yeah, I want to like one of these days when like really when Dynasty comes out to practice, I want to be able to like film their practice, and more than filming practice, more than filming them playing, I want to try to like film them interacting. And like, I don't know, just make something like that where it's paintball stuff, but like there's somehow more emotion involved with it, because I think that Dynasty, out of all the teams, you could probably do that with best. Because they're so close. I mean, with Oliver, not Oliver, but with Alex, Yosh, and Ryan, like, I mean, they're like family members. I mean, literally family members. So I'd like to do that and try to like somehow invoke this old like push stuff, but I don't know if I can do that. I've never made anything even close to that. The only video stuff I've ever made, you've seen it. Like Noah said, in the pits. Essentially, yeah, I just want to like follow them around and like, yeah. Which I could probably do. I want to ask Alex. Alex or Yosh. Ask one of them, they'll tell me for sure if I can. I just think it'd be cool. Can we do a full push watch party? That actually would be really fun. One of the things that I wanted to do back in the day when at the paintball store, I had like 2,000 extra square feet on one side. It was like 1,500 extra square feet or something like that. I always wanted to like get a projector and like bring a bunch of chairs and be like, oh, okay, Sunday, everyone come to the paintball store and we're gonna watch like NXL. And we're gonna have like food and beers and whatever, you know. I think that would have been really fun. You know, just get a bunch of people and watch paintball. It'd be pretty cool. A push watch party. Man, can we, how do you do that? Can we like do that on the internet? Maybe we should, man. It'd be kind of fun, right? Would it be interesting? Tell me, let's talk about this right now. Would it be interesting if like we could watch this video, right? And maybe I'll be in the corner or something. What if we watch the whole entire thing online? Like the whole thing from the beginning. Crawling down my tired throat, scratches. Like just literally let the whole thing play out. But what if I like talked every once in a while? I was like, man, that was a really cool time because I remember this and this and this and this. It was really pretty cool. And we just let it play a game. I'm not sure how that would work. I think that might be neat. Because a lot of people probably haven't seen this video, and it's super important to me. Like, this video changed my life. 100%. I mean, there's like... I mean, I don't think that it like... I don't think about how this changed my life, but it 100% changed the trajectory of my life. Like, without this video, I would not be playing paintball. I don't think I would be. I watch this every single day. Every single day for maybe a year. So, yes, yes, yes. Maybe we'll look into it. Okay. Well, the first thing I gotta do is ask Patrick, because I don't want to like just do it. You know, I'd like to ask permission first. So, first we'll ask and see if I can actually even do it. Because it literally did change my life. Like, this is like, you know, there's a few things that I can point back to in my life that have changed the outcome or the trajectory of my life, and push is certainly one of those things. I'd have to probably sit down and think about it, but seeing the space shuttle launch and this movie honestly might be the two most important things ever to happen to me. I was thinking about that. It's like, god damn. Like, I don't know if... maybe not important, maybe like... changed the way I thought, or like changed the course of my life. I don't know. But it was a very big deal to me. Seeing the space shuttle launch when I was like 13, I think. I think it was 1990. I don't know. It was definitely the 90s. I don't remember. Changed my life. Absolutely changed my life. I can tell you that for sure. I'm getting pumped already. Possible push. I'll look into it for sure. I never thought about it. And then I was like, doesn't Facebook have like that watch party thing feature? I mean, I don't want to do it on Facebook, but like, I just thought about it. And I was like, and then Apple came out with like FaceTime. Something happened today. Yeah. Am I crying? Nope, I'm not crying. Nope, no crying. Porter, serial killers was my pre-game ritual for many years. That's also a good one. For sure. I think that... Brad cut, I like that. We'll do that. I think that for me, the reason this is so important to me, more than like serial killers or whatever, is because this happened right when I started playing paintball, right? Like, this video came out like 6 months before I started playing or something like that. So it was super topical and very current, and everyone was talking about it, and it was a big deal. I think that if I started playing paintball like 4 years later or something like that, a video like serial killers or monkey with a gun videos or something like that, probably maybe it would have been one of those videos. This is very good though. This is a different level, I think. Because those videos are like nice and entertaining and like they're informative, but like, this is different. It's like a very good film. Yeah. Let's put that on. Let's put this. We're gonna type that comment right now. We're gonna go. This video. Whoop. This video. This movie changed my life. Thank you. Apostrophe, kinda. There we go. Kabingo! We don't make too many comments on Facebook. Actually, we'll get rid of the kinda, because I don't know. It's kinda. Praying hands. There we go. Bam. SC Village in Corona. Yep. That's it right there, actually. SC Village right there. Yeah. I still remember, man. God damn. I remember. I was like, man, that's so cool. I was like, man, that's so cool that they get like this. I was like 16 when I was watching this, right? So I was like, man, that's so cool. They like go play paintball all day and like Ed Portman's so dope. It's so cool. Dope. I was like, man, it's so cool. They like go play paintball all day and then they just go back to the house and like hang out and like. Damn, look at Chris. LB and like cook food and like hang out by the pool and like I was like, man, that's so much fun. They just like literally play paintball and like have fun. That's pretty cool. Man, you know what's kind of funny? Oh no, I don't. Never mind. I thought I had that visor. What was it? All you JT people, there's so many like JT hyper fans out there. Are these? Would this be worth anything? God damn, I hate this like. I hate the like face recognition stuff. This is like an original JT visor. It's not the. Got audio problems all over the place right now, don't we? What happens if I lose my mouse? Where the hell's my mouse at? It's lost. It's like not showing up. That's weird. Yeah, it's like I don't know. Are these worth anything? Do people like want these things? I've had this thing for so long, like so long. A little bit of a sweat stain. It looks like. I've probably had this for. I don't know, at least 15 years. I mean, but it was old, I think, when I got it, so. JT visors, pretty cool. Curious. If money was a factor, would you get the Etha 2 or the 170R? Definitely the Etha 2, for sure. 170R is not even really that much different, so. For sure. Etha 2 it up. I think I turned the audio way down. I might be loud again. Who knows? Visors. No one answered my visor question. Yep, well guys. It's almost 5. We've almost been doing this. How long have we been doing this for? Too long? An hour and 40 minutes. So some of these videos, some of these little clips from this are going to actually end up on the Ruined Clips channel. I have another YouTube channel. If no one's ever, if you guys have not seen it before. Spire 3, 4, or Control. You know, honestly, I'd probably buy a Spire 3. Spire 4 is just a. The Spire 4 is the Spire 3, and like I don't know. I like the Control. I don't dislike the Control, but I think the Spire 3 I think is a solider hopper. It's a little bit more built, a little more solid, and I definitely like on the button. I don't like the button on the bottom of the Control. It used to not really bother me, but the like power button's underneath, so it's a little weird. Whoa, whoa! I can't type. But that is the other paintball channel. If you guys want to go find Ruined Clips, it's just the highlights from the live streams. You can see that I post to it regularly. 7 months ago. This was just a cool like people getting crazy at the paintball field. This was the first practice, I think, of Alex Goldman and Alex Rodriguez together. Oh, they don't like me filming though. They told me I had to stop filming them, so I don't film them anymore for that reason. It doesn't make sense to me, but you know, whatever. There's just lots of paint flying around. Alex Goldman's so good. Like, he's so good. Alex Goldman's one of those players though that's like good at paintball, but like he's good at paintball very fundamentally. Like he's good at all the like technical aspects, right? He's not as like freewheeling or like freestyling it like some of the players that I like. Like I think that Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, is better than Alex Goldman, and I think that what's that guy's Russian guy? Alexander Birnikov. I think that he's a little better. So if you guys want, yeah, Ruined Clips is where you can find like, you know, highlights and clips from live streams. You know. I'm debating on getting the CZR or the Etha 2, but the Etha 2 is $146 more. Nova ZQ. I'm with you for sure. It's worth it. It's worth the money, right? Like, it's worth it. I think that when you look at that CZR and the Etha 2 on paper, right? Like if you compared all the specs, like all the features and stuff like that, they're very similar, right? Like the Etha 2 and the CZR, they might, you know, one might have a couple other things nicer and one might have the other ones a couple nicer. But feature-wise, they're going to be very similar. But, man, I'll tell you, in the long run, seriously, like 6 months down the line, a year down the line, a year and a half, whatever time length you want to say, you're going to have more fun with the Etha 2 simply because it's going to be more reliable, it's easier to work on. Like, everything's better about them, really, you know? They're very, very good. So, well, I totally get, you know, it's like 30% more or something like that. It's, you know, good portion more. But I would wait. Like, if you have to do more work somehow or like, you know, wait a couple months or, I mean, a couple months kind of sucks though, but it really is worth it. Like, it really is. Like, it's the better thing to buy. And that's not just because more money either. You know, so many people are like, oh, it's just more money. It's got to be better. But buy the better one. You know, it's not nothing to do with that. Like, you know, the Etha 2 might be the best paintball gun ever made. You know, it really is. I mean, you know, the rate of fire is super high. It's extremely air efficient. It's extremely reliable. It's quiet. It barely kicks. It's easy on paint. You know, it's a quarter of the price of some other guns. A third, we'll say, not a quarter. A third of the price of some other guns. Of the higher end guns that shoot very similar. It's very, very, very good. Dog's on the ground. He's losing his hair. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night. It's 5 o'clock where I'm at. That means it's almost 6. I'm between the Shocker Amp and the DSR. Woo! I'd pick the DSR. I actually like the DSR, but they're super rare. Like, Dye doesn't have them in stock. I mean, you have to like find a used one or something weird, right? I mean, it's been they've been hard to find like for a while now. I like the DSR. I actually really like the DSR. I can't stand Dye guns. I don't normally like the Dye guns. I'm not a fan of like the M3S and all those things. But I did like the DSR. Yeah, there's a video on this channel about the DSR. I still believe that stuff. I still go probably saying the same things. Rob the Robot says, I like that name a lot actually. Had the Etha 2 for a few years and the best investment I've ever made. Yeah. Definitely probably in paintball. I mean, certainly not like... You guys want to know investments? You know that at one point in time, guys, you know this Dogecoin thing that's all popular? At one point in time, if I never sold the Dogecoin that I had, it would be worth... If I never sold my Dogecoin and sold it at the peak, it would be worth $6.5 million. Yeah. At the time I sold it, it was probably worth all of it, total accumulatively, $2,500. Yeah, it's crazy, you know, like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, we were talking about investments. I'd be very, I would want to say very rich. I'd be rich if I never sold my Dogecoin. The problem is, though, is that I just sold it when it went up 20%. So instead of making $2,500 back in the day, I'd have just sold it for $3,000, you know? So it wouldn't have been like anything crazy. Brad, thoughts on the E-Tech 6 coming out? I don't really know. I think that I thought that we would have seen something already. So I'm not entirely sure. My like predictions are all off. So I'm not sure. I mean, not all off. I mean, I kind of thought that we would see like the E-Tech 6 about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So it's very possible that we I don't know though, it's so weird because normally like these manufacturers kind of like to release stuff toward the ends of the year, you know? I mean, normally we see stuff at like World Cup or like, you know, October, you know, September, October. Releasing something like right before the summer is not normal, but it wouldn't necessarily, I mean, it's already way into summer though. It wouldn't necessarily be probably a bad idea to release something in like April or May, you know, to be able to get like new paintball players or people that are excited about paintball. And I think that mid-range guns are probably the best thing to do that with because you're getting more of those, you know, impulse or spur of the moment buys, which is happening less with, you know, $1,500 guns. I think that it is something we will see just because even though Planet Eclipse has said that it's like hard to do and like they like don't want to make an LV2 and all this stuff, it's hard not to when like everyone wants them. Like everyone's excited about it and asking for them. But Planet Eclipse also said that when they released the LV 1.5, I think it was the LV 1.5, everyone wanted it. Like everyone was asking for them. And when it came down to it, no one actually bought them. So they didn't sell as many as like it appeared they would have, you know, because everyone's like, yeah, bring back the LV 1.6 or make an LV2, yeah. And then it comes down to it, none of those people are actually going to buy it. You know, they just want Planet Eclipse to make one for some reason. Yeah. Is it an Eaton 6 or an LV2? I don't know. It's an E-Tech 6, probably what you meant to say. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have any inside information. And if I did have inside information, we wouldn't be talking about it. So that's how you'll know. If I don't want to talk about stuff, if I'm like, and kind of avoid stuff, that's when you know I know stuff. How can I see the rosters of all the pro teams? You can go, I believe, to NXL paintball.com. And I believe there are pro teams right there. And then, I don't know, maybe they don't. Well, they used to have all the rosters on here. The links on the bottom of their websites don't work. Where's the ranking? Okay. Stats and fantasy, maybe? No, it's definitely not there. Well, you can go to PB Leagues. PBLeagues.com. We're going to do this. We're going to find out. The problem with this, though, is you got to log in and stuff. So you got to go find the league. So, like, we're going to find the NXL because that's the pro teams. And then we'll go to, like, the last tournament there was, right? Since there's, you know, whatever. We'll go NXL Sunshine State Major. So there's all the teams for that entire tournament. And then you can click Edmonton Impact. And there's their roster. Yep. So this is the roster for that specific tournament, though. So the rosters, I mean, can change, right? They can add players. Someone could get hurt, you know, whatever. So that is the roster for those tournaments, though. You could also get there by going to, like, season rankings, if you can find that somewhere. Season rankings. There you go. I guess we were already at that. So you can do it. It's a little awkward, though. I mean, I really think that the NXL should probably, you know, have more of that, like, information. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Jesus Christ. What am I doing? NXL. Yeah, the NXL should probably, you know, have some of that stuff on their website. Like, it'd be cool to, you know, click AC Diesel and it'd go to, like, the AC Diesel roster. They used to do that. I mean, at one point they did have that. Maybe they got them on Go Sports. I don't think so, though. The Go Sports website's a goddamn nightmare. It's a little better. It's better than it used to be. It used to be just freaking terrible. Oh, what happens when we click Baltimore Revo? Yeah, it takes us to games. Tim Finnegan, if you worked for Barstool Sports, we could have all the info in one place. What? Me? I don't know. I don't know. I really, the NXL should just have this stuff. I mean, the NXL should just have it on their website, right? I mean, like, you know, when I go to NBA.com, you know, obviously I'm not saying that, like, whatever, that, you know, that the NXL is the NBA, but it should be, you know, I'd like to be able to find the rosters. It isn't that hard. I mean, APPA or PB Leagues or whatever, they do have pictures of all the players, so they definitely have at least images of the players, like these. You know, you got like headshots, Jabari Parker, you know, playing for the Celtics, which is crazy. You know, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been playing very, very well in this postseason. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I want to go. I'm just gonna go eat dinner. I like worked out today a lot, and I didn't really eat much afterwards, so. All right. So yeah, tomorrow, if you guys want to watch a Speedster video on the channel, that'll be on tomorrow. Okay, guys, I appreciate everyone who comes by. Freaking super chats are goddamn amazing. So, any of you guys who are super chatting, like, it's really awesome. Like, yeah. I don't know. This is awesome. Yep. Okay, guys, keep it real. I'll see you later. I always say that, and then we still gotta click all these buttons. So, see you later.